Capitol Hill. Right now, behind closed doors, former CIA Director General David Petraeus testifying on what happened in Benghazi on September 11, 2012. 4 Americans killed.
Yesterday, the House held a hearing of its own, and Democrats appeared more interested in pointing fingers than getting the answers.
These unfair attacks on Ambassador Susan Rice are simply wrong. She had to rely on the intelligence that was provided. I sat here while Colin Powell provided the intelligence that he had regarding weapons of mass destruction in Iraq.
I am very disturbed at some of the political rhetoric that I hear. You know, Barack Obama was no more responsible for what happened in Benghazi than George Bush was for September 11th.
Joining us now with his reaction, Congressman Mike Kelly. Congressman, I'd like you to react to that. Do you agree with that President Obama is no more responsible for Benghazi than President Bush was for 9/11?
No, because whenever we look what happened on 9/11, we really didn't have the previous knowledge. This is what happened in Benghazi was well documented and well thought out. They knew for a year ahead of time. My goodness, 230 attacks in Libya, 48 in Benghazi, 2 on that consulate, and they say they really didn't know. When we had people on the ground begging for increased security, when at a time when our ambassador was put at the greatest harm, most vulnerable in a very violent area, we dumbed down. We pulled out our professional staff and we replaced them with $4 an hour Libyan nationals. Nobody can tell me that the president didn't know about this. If he didn't know about these, either tremendously incapable or just in denial.
So now we're talking about what happened after the attack took place and why we didn't get the straight story. Now we know the CIA director is testifying. According to our sources, will say that within 24 hours he knew it was a terrorist attack, but yet he told in a private meeting, told lawmakers it was the video. What do you think could possibly go on behind closed doors to make you feel good about those 2 statements?
Well, I don't think there's anything to make me feel good about it. I think I'm just not only a member of Congress, but I'm also a private citizen in this country. All of us have to be asking, what did they know, when did they know it, and how did they come out with this ridiculous spin that they had no reason to say that other than the fact that it would protect the president and the administration in a very close election. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't pass the smell test, and it really has now reached a stench coming out of Washington, D.C. of this cover-up.
But why would the CIA director do that? I mean, he's not technically part of the administration.
Listen, why send our ambassador to the UN out to message it on Sunday with 5 different times to make that message? If they're saying they worked off CIA talking points and then we're finding out that some of those talking points may have been compromised, I really question now with the veracity of this administration and what it is why are they trying to do and why do we cover it up? If the president said now the election is over, we can get to the truth. He said that himself in his press conference. My question is, if that's the case, Mr. President, then come forward with the truth. Quit holding back. And now General Petraeus is testifying right now. I'm not in that meeting, obviously. It would be interesting to try and understand what it was that caused them to come forward with a message that makes no sense to any clear-thinking person.
Right. I just feel as though the America would be a safer place if he was still CIA director, but that's for another conversation. Ambassador Susan Rice goes out there. The president's defiant tone and saying, don't go after her. If you want to go after her, go after me. But yet he says she knows nothing about Benghazi, and she gets briefed in an unclassified way to give a message out to for the administration requested by the White House that is deceptive in its content. Who do you blame for that?
Well, listen, it's consistent with this president and the way he operates in this administration. They send out Ambassador Rice and say she doesn't know anything about this, but we're sending her out with talking points that we provided her with. Listen, she went out there knowing the message. I'm sure it was well rehearsed. This comes out of the White House. This is the direction that they sent her in. She's a very capable person. My question now is, she's so capable, she's highly educated. I'm sure Ambassador Rice can stand on her own and defend why she said those things. Let's bring her forward and ask her, so, Ambassador, why did you talk that way? What is it that you knew or didn't know? And why did you message it with so much clarity in those 5 TV shows on that Sunday? And now today, the president's now coming forward. I don't think the president has to defend her. I think the ambassador can stand on her own. She's a very strong person. She can stand there and defend what it is that she knew and why she said it.
Right. I know I'd personally like to see the unclassified and then the classified documents to see if they're different. Congressman Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania, thanks for your time today.